I want to start off with a yo so bad, but honestly, I don't even feel like it. Though. I had something else I wanted to say, but I just lost it in like the last hour of tomfoolery. But what's going on? This is Unbounded once again. Your boy Isaac is on what side are you on? Is that the right side? I can't. I'm horrible with directions, and I'm on the left.
I'm looking at it. I'm on the left. The way I'm looking at it, I'm on the left.
Well, I'm definitely on the left.
I thought you were in the middle.
Why would I be in the middle?
Aren't you a libertarian?
Libertarians are more right, though. Honestly.
But you said you're middle. But so then why?
Why are we bringing politics into this? I was talking about a position.
You said you were on the left. I said that's not true.
I'm talking about the left side of the screen.
Still, you're still on the left, though.
Yeah, well, the left side of the screen.
Are you sure?
I don't see now. So no, what you're not about to do is gaslight me.
All right, what?
You're not going to gaslight me because this is not a podcast where we gaslight. As you see here, I don't gaslight people.
Well, I mean, if you'd seen now, for those of you who are just joining us, if you had seen what he tried to do before we actually went on, he tried to do that to me. And no, I'm not returning the favor. Like this, I'm just letting him know that he said he was on the left. Is that not what you said?
Yeah, I'm on the left side of the screen.
But that still means you're on the left.
No, it does not.
Yes, it does. You're still on the left.
Of what?
Of whatever. You said you were on the left.
Yeah, if you're looking at us right now, my face is positioned on the left.
So you're on the left.
In this context, yes.
Are you sure?
In this context.
Are you sure you're on the left?
In this context.
How you know you're not on the right?
Because I can look at my face and see myself on the left.
But I mean,
I'm gonna teach you how we learned in marching band. Take both hands, okay? Which one makes the loser?
From here it looks like you're. Oh, well, no.
From
this side it looks like. From this side it looks like you're right.
No. That's definitely my left.
Are you sure? From
you do it.
It didn't look
like. You do it. Yeah, you do it.
No, because like the way I'm looking.
No, because it only works if you do it.
Okay, no, I see what you mean.
Oh, okay then. So now we understand how I'm always right.
But I thought you said you were.
I'm on the left, but I'm always right. Okay.
But I thought you were in the middle.
No, I'm never in the middle.
You're never in the middle.
No. I'm always right.
So you're never in the middle of anything.
No, I'm always in the right part of I'm always on the right side of history.
That's not what your Twitter says.
What does my Twitter say?
That you're a Seahawks fan, so you're not on the right side of history.
No, the Seahawks are always on the right side of history. Don't.
Are they?
Just because the last time you were able to celebrate winning a Super Bowl was when you were walking around your parents' house in diapers doesn't mean a thing, okay?
When's the last time y'all actually celebrated a Super Bowl?
We celebrated a Super Bowl when I was in college. Meanwhile, you were over here sucking on a pacifier last time.
I mean, like recently. Like, was that like
a lot more recent? It was a celebration, all right.
Was it though?
Yeah, it's not my fault that MySpace wasn't even a thing last time the Cowboys won the Super Bowl.
But y'all have 5 though.
We don't need 5 when all 5 stars are like covered in. Hold that thought.
So by your logic.
You know what this is?
I can't see it.
This is a dust rag.
Okay.
Cowboys need this.
And you're frozen. I'm trash about the Cowboys.
I'm not frozen. I just stopped moving.
So, by your logic. So let me get this straight. By your logic, Kota Ibushi is better than Kenny Omega.
By my logic, Bryan Danielson's better than both of them. Come on. Come at me, bro.
Okay. Has Kota Ibushi ever wrestled Bryan Danielson?
Doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. No, it does.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It does.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. No, because you're saying the Seahawks are better than the Cowboys because they won a Super Bowl recently. Is that what you're saying? That's what you're saying.
No, I'm saying the Seahawks are better than the Cowboys because the Seahawks are better than the Cowboys.
See, all right, so that's okay. So by that,
are you trying to argue with my correct stance? And you know my two rules.
No, your stance is a matter of perspective.
There's no perspective here.
Yes, there is.
I only speak factual information.
Do you know what people really count? What really counts? Championships.
You know what really counts? You know what really counts on the Unbounded podcast?
What, recency bias?
What the truth says. Because if you're new here, we have two rules here. Rule number one, I'm always right. Rule number two, in the event that I'm wrong, refer to rule number one.
See, for those wrestling fans watching, this is exactly how Roman Reigns was able to control the bloodline for so long.
I'm better than Roman Reigns. Don't ever disrespect me, comparing me to that tribal queen.
Not the tribal queen, really?
The tribal queen.
You can do better. You can do better than that.
The tribal queen.
You can do better than that.
Roman Reigns ain't got nothing on this. Better acknowledge me.
Anyway, football's back, and I can't tell you how happy I was.
I can't tell you how mad I was.
I was happy because I was able to do the one thing I've been doing for the last couple of years, as long as I can remember, whenever college football comes around. I was able to sit down and watch the first college game day of the year in its entirety, and then get started for the way to college on the way of a full day of college football. That was great. But not only was it great, it's also great because of the fact that Colorado, Deion Sanders-led Colorado, showed up to Fort Worth and showed out.
Can we just add the context to the fact that this is the Deion Sanders is coaching a team that went 1-11 last season.
Yes.
You better get ready. And then played against a team that was in the national championship last season.
They were in the national championship. I think they were number
2. They were number 2.
Yeah.
Based off of last year's standings, they were number
Georgia. It was Georgia, TCU, Michigan, Ohio State.
Were they in the top 10 this week?
They started out the season 17.
Okay.
Because they started out the season at 17.
That's kind of low for a runner-up, but okay.
They looked at recruiting. I think I'm realizing it's by recruiting. That's why Alabama's up there every year.
Sure. Hey, but should Jordan?
It's like looking at basically saying, oh, look at your draft based on what your draft is.
Appreciate that.
That's like saying based on what your draft is. That's this Saturday. Israel Adesanya is fighting this Saturday. Cool.
That's what's up.
Anyway, where was I? Let's look at the rankings right now. Even though
have they updated?
I'm not sure. Well, today is Monday, so they should have.
All right, let me see if I can pull it up and I'll get it on the screen. Looking for the AP rankings.
Yeah. Oh no, they haven't updated. They
probably update tomorrow.
Yeah.
But we could just let's look at how everybody looked in the top 25.
Let's just look at the top 25.
So I'm about to pull it up on the screen now.
So.
All right, so Georgia won their game. I don't know who they played. Michigan won their game.
Georgia played. Most of these teams played nobody. I'm not gonna lie.
So looking at the top 5, LSU got destroyed.
Georgia played Tennessee Martin, UTM, which I'm pretty sure is University of Texas Martin, I think. Or it could be University of Tennessee. Hold on.
What is the school name?
University of Tennessee at Martin.
That sounds like an FCS school, but okay. LSU got destroyed by Florida State.
No, they're FCS. They're FCS. Yeah.
Oh, rest in peace to Steve Harwell, by the way.
Also, rest in peace to Jimmy Buffett. For those who
the heck did he die?
Saturday. No, not that, Steve.
Yes, that's Steve. My brother just told me about like an hour ago.
Bro.
He evidently had like a heart attack yesterday, was in the hospital, and passed away today.
That's crazy. I just saw him on Twitter.
Yeah, man. Like life hits you like that, dog. It sucks.
No, I mean, I saw a picture of him on Twitter. And I didn't know why.
Yeah, that was why.
No, I'm saying because here, hang on. Let me see if I can find it.
That was probably why, though.
Because I saw, where is it? Yeah, first of all, shout out to Kid Bandit, by the way. But I saw this picture of him on Twitter, posted by the Smash Mouth page, and they would just say hashtag I support you, all that.
So now I'm being told that he passed away Saturday.
Yeah, and then like I said,
I thought it was today. Thank you for that.
Yeah, Kid Bandit posted that, and I'm like, and so I'm thinking, oh look, he's around, and then yeah, he's died. He died. That's a that band had two all-timers.
I can only think of one right now, but yeah.
Which one are you thinking of?
All-Star.
Believer. At the end of Shrek.
Oh shoot, that is them. Okay.
They had two all-timers.
Because we went to some pizza place and watched Ohio State play. You must be an Ohio State fan. Imagine being an Ohio State fan. But going back to this rankings real quick, USC is now 2-0, so I expect them to go ahead and move up to that number 5 spot. Penn State won. Clemson has not played yet, evidently.
Clemson plays today.
Oh,
I think. Clemson plays today at 8.
So that's also probably why we haven't gotten an update of the rankings yet, because
Clemson plays today. Clemson plays today at 8, and they play.
Oh, she did. That's what's up. Yeah, any other games? Looks like TCU's probably going to jump out of the. TCU's jumping out of the top 25. I think everybody else is going to stay, but TCU is going to be bouncing out of the top 25 after losing.
Utah did well. LSU may fall, but they're not going to fall out.
LSU is probably going to drop into like the 11 through 16 range.
Notre Dame.
Is that where you want to go?
They didn't even play. They played the Navy and they played Tennessee State. This is crazy.
I like how you decided to bring up the fact that Oregon dropped 80 points on a FBS school like an FCS school like I'm supposed to care.
No, I mean, like, because I said, what was that in return? Was that in response to, what did I say that?
Let me pull up a chat. You said about something, and I was like, man, nobody cared about them beating the FCS school.
No, it was mad disrespectful, though. Like, come on.
I mean,
where was it?
Look, if any of these top 25 schools play against Norfolk State, they better drop 100.
Over TCU.
Oh, here it is.
But let's not forget that Oregon dropped 81 points on somebody, and that's just rude.
That's mad rude. I don't care what nobody says. That's mad rude.
Oh, you came out there to play. You better start there from scoring.
Although it's not as bad as it is.
I'm telling you now, if Norfolk State ever played USC with Caleb as their quarterback, they're dropping 100.
Oh yeah, no, easily.
That's not about being 100 to 7.
And then, like the coach from Arkansas. There's a video of the coach from Arkansas State. They got blown out by Oklahoma 73-0.
Jeez.
And the coach of Arkansas State was on the field like emotional, like he was crying. And I get it.
I get it.
I do. I get it. You want to go. You go out there and you feed this energy into the team, only for them to not. For that to happen, that's not cool. I get it. But let's get to the big thing, though. Colorado BTCU, and just BTCU, Shedeur Sanders dropped 510 yards.
A school record, by the way.
Matter
of fact, a personal record as well. This is Shedeur. I haven't watched Shedeur since he was quarterbacking at Jackson.
Which I think is when everybody heard of him.
I mean, clearly. But looking at some of his Jackson State numbers, I didn't see him doing that crazy numbers there.
He went 38 to 47. He went 38 to 47, 510 yards and 4 TDs.
I had to ask this question: who do you think is a bigger X factor, Shedeur or Travis Hunter? Because Travis Hunter played 150 snaps.
I feel like it could go either way. Honestly, it could go either way. Although,
if by some crazy way, I'm not about to say Jackson, Colorado, let's say they win 10 games this year, which is highly unlikely, I think Travis Hunter wins Heisman.
Oh no, I don't doubt that either. His odds went up like sky high after one game.
He didn't have a touchdown because they took it away, but he had
11.
He had about 11 catches,
receptions, 119 yards,
and a pick, and two defensive passes,
and 110.
I don't know.
And played like 110 snaps both ways.
No, 150.
Oh, so look at me underselling them. Dylan Edwards had a game though.
I don't think there's. I could be wrong, but it's going to be way back in the day before you find a player that played that many snaps in the college game. Honestly, Dion was a two-way player, but I don't think Dion was putting in this much time.
No, he did. He was more defense than offense.
Well, he was a defensive guy that was an offensive gadget.
He was more defensive special teams.
Travis's value is going to be crazy once he gets to the league. His value is going to be insane. And I believe he's not eligible until 2025. But even then, I don't see how he doesn't go number one.
I mean, you'll go up there.
I don't see how he does not go number one in the draft. It's going to take something drastic, like he just falls off or something that's like beyond his control to drop his stock. As long as he keeps his head on straight, he is going to be a number one pick in 2025. Next question regarding this. Do you see Dion staying in college even after Shedeur leaves? Because I really think that Dion is just following Shedeur.
Yeah, I heard somewhere that said he wants to stay in college because I honestly don't think the league would have him knowing him. I feel like they would treat him kind of like how they treated Ochocinco or T.O., but only as a coach. Plus I find it
love it.
Plus, I love it too. But plus, I think it's very hard to get people who get paid to who get paid millions of dollars to invest in something when they don't have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think the difference between the league and college is the league is we're gonna get paid anyway. Where we made it. This is it for us. All we need to do is just not get hurt. Whereas with here, it's they're playing to go somewhere. And he's gonna give them that motivation and philosophy to get there. By the time you get to the pros, you should already have that philosophy. If you don't. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think he'll find it easier because the way his philosophy is, I think he'll find it easier to preach the philosophy that he does. I think he'll have I think he'll have a hard time getting those guys to buy in to it, especially with the owners being a boys club that it's always been. You know what I mean? They will find.
I think if anybody's going to make things shake over there, it would be him.
Oh, in Colorado? Yeah.
No, in the league.
In the league, yeah, it would be. But
because because people at this point, if you don't know how Deion Sanders moves, you just ain't been paying attention to Deion Sanders over his entire span from college to the league to being on commentary, doing analyzing things, to being a coach. The man has a chip on his shoulder. And this is one thing I love what we're seeing between him and Sha'Carri. Because both of them have Sha'Carri Richardson. Both are on this, y'all doubted me, so I'm going to do what I do and throw it in your face and say, oh, so what was that you were saying now? Because you saw how he called out that one reporter during his interview. He was like, you said all this stuff. Go ahead, talk this out now. I'm like, I love this energy.
He just said, do you believe now? Do you believe now? The guy said, in what? I said, oh, you don't believe. You don't believe. Next question.
And I love it because I'm like, throw it back at them. They got all this stuff to say when you're down and out. But
there were people convinced.
And look, I'm gonna say now, if Odo finds a way to bounce back after this loss, I will come on this podcast and say, look, I was wrong.
On College Game Day, I was watching it. I was waiting for them to talk about this game. They got to it. They said the analytical stuff. Came time for picks. Everybody but Pat McAfee picked TCU. Lee Corso said, quoted, that TCU is going to destroy Colorado. And I was telling somebody in the barbershop before this, I was like, look, here's the thing you have to, I'm giving them a chance not because any given day, not just because of that, but also because TCU, the thing about college is you don't know, rankings are just like for show. You don't know what you have until you actually play it.
Right.
So for TCU, the biggest piece of that team was Max Duggan, who got drafted who got drafted this year. He's in the league right now.
Right.
He was in this game. In fact, in this Colorado game, he was supposed to play. That the guy who started this year was supposed to started last year, but got injured, and Max Duggan came in and showed out, and they kept him. You know what I mean?
And he played great. He
played.
They had no answer for the offense.
He played about as good as you can, but it's not Max. But it ain't Max Duggan. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, you're gonna have that once in a while quarterback. Like they had Max Duggan. Cincinnati when they made it to the playoff, they had
Desmond
Ritter. You're gonna have those times where these schools that don't necessarily get a quarterback like that. So, like, even looking at Colorado, what is the likelihood they get another Shedeur Sanders?
It may be a while. Because was he a sophomore or junior?
He's a junior.
If I'm
Jackson, so he's junior.
If I'm Deion, I don't think Deion would do this, but I think you get him to stay. You play out your senior year. I don't think you go to the league early.
Honestly, it's going to really be depending on how he finishes the season off. If he finishes the season off in the Heisman race, I'm taking the money. Shedeur is that quarterback that these teams are looking for now. At one point, because I was watching somebody, he was saying how quarterbacks like Anthony Richardson 10 years ago wouldn't get the love that a lot of these quarterbacks are getting now, but you're seeing that a lot of these teams now are looking for that quarterback. You look at
because the
best quarterbacks in the league now that Tom Brady's gone, take away Aaron Rodgers, because even Aaron Rodgers at his prime was very mobile.
Yeah, but also the era of Tom Brady, the era of Tom Brady is truly over. The era where
you got to be able to move.
Yeah, you have to. Which is why the fact that Tom Brady
who's an immobile quarterback right now that's still dominating?
I'd say Kirk Cousins, but he moves a bit.
Listen to what I said. Dominating.
Oh. Then, yeah.
Kirk Cousins just existing. And that's no knock on Kirk, because Kirk is a good quarterback. But when you look at the elite quarterbacks right now, you're talking Pat, you're talking Joe Burrow, you're talking Josh Allen. I don't know if I'm ready to call him elite, but Justin Herbert.
No.
Yeah, he's not elite. He's not there yet. Jalen Hurts, I know you don't care for because he's an Eagle. Dak Prescott. The top quarterbacks in the league right now are going to be a threat to run the ball as well as pass the ball, which is kind of hurting your running back position, but that's another story for another time. But yeah, he is prime for this era of football where the quarterback is almost expected to be moved. So if he has one of those seasons where he be projected to go in the top 15, I'm taking the money and I'm going to the league. If he is a second round projected draft pick, take that senior year. Because honestly, I really believe if he comes back, Colorado's going to be in that top 25 at the end of the season next year. Deion just needs one really good recruitment class. We've seen that he can sway a top prospect and go to an HBCU. The best prospect in that class would be an HBCU.
How he managed to do that should be studied.
Honestly.
It really needs to be studied because this kid was going to Bama, Florida State, like all the big Power 5 schools, and all he did was get a call from Deion. I was like, come play for me at Jackson. It probably happened more than that. And
I'm pretty sure there was some things that were promised to him. But even then, that's a lot. That's a tall task when you're talking about a fair. Let me see. What is the? Let's do some research. Why don't we?
On what?
On Jackson State.
Yeah, it ain't Tuscaloosa.
I don't believe Jackson's much bigger than Norfolk State. So let's compare it to Norfolk State.
I don't think so either.
Because, as you know, I went to Norfolk State. I was there for a hot minute. Well, their schools actually, they have a higher enrollment according to what I'm reading here. Norfolk State is 342 acres. All right, so Jackson State is 459 acres. Their enrollment is 9,000 students with nearly 500 faculty members. More than 320 are full-time. And these numbers, the 9,540 students is as of fall 2022. This is their data rankings here. Let me just pull this up real quick. So, in-state tuition, golly, 8 G's. I don't care about your video. I'm just trying to see your rankings. So they're not in National University. They're between 331 and 440. (15-1) faculty ratio. So a fairly small school, being that middle range of small schools, but for him to pull that off is amazing.
It really is.
So props to Prime for pulling off something that honestly after 2020, you saw a lot of people kind of saying that a lot of these top prospects need to go to HBCUs. Travis Hunter did it.
And look what happened. Also, speaking of HBCUs, here's the thing. I like college football. I do. I love football in general. I love sports. I'm a sports guy.
I'm not Jamal.
When I go to football games, I am there for the sport. You know, do I admire the rest of the culture that's there? Yes, but I am there to watch the game. That's what I'm there for, right?
This is where we differ.
What?
I said this is where we differ.
Anthony, being the band guy that he is and the music guy that he is there for the band. That's cool. In fact, when I was at this Norfolk State game, I was right next to the band. Like, band's here, we're right here, you know, like right next to. We essentially in the student section, essentially, which is cool. It was fun. It was great. As the band is not as loud as I remember it be, But then again, you
were sitting.
I know that's what I'm saying. But even so, like.
It's kind of hard to catch all that he's saying.
Yeah, even so. Well, no, because we watched him perform too, and it still felt like, you know.
I don't know. I watched that sideline blowdown when they played Many Men.
Yeah, I remember that.
I felt that in my car. No, I'm not Tyrone.
Yeah, I remember that. That's what I felt that was.
Yeah, it was Many Men.
No, I know it was, but I was also with my mom and dad, and I can't necessarily sing Many Men in front of them, you know. I mean, I can, but like, you know what I mean.
I want my mom Many Men. Wish death upon me. Blood of my eyes, dog, and I can't see.
I'm just trying to be who I'm just.
She'll probably just sit inside on me. I'm like, what?
And niggas want to take my life from me.
Hey, I'm on TikTok here.
Right. Lame. Anyway. So yeah, that was fun. But
I'm not Tyreek Hill.
Anyway, yeah. So I was there for the sport. So sports wise, I wouldn't say disappointed because it's about what I expected. Because it seems like every Norfolk State game I've been to, save for like one. Maybe two. It hasn't gone well for them. They either get blown out or they lose close. Usually, there's no in between. It's just how it is. You know. So yeah. Also, my favorite thing is watching when I'm at high school games. Also when I'm at college games. Well, when I was at that game and everybody's screaming pass when the quarterback drops. It was always my favorite thing. You know what I mean? So yeah.
This is why people at Norfolk State don't go for football games, because the football team is typically not good unless it's 2011, which we can't even talk about anymore because we don't have that championship.
What do you mean? Oh, wait, why don't you have it?
It was something that they did. And
wait, the team?
They got punishment. Yeah, it was some kind of recruitment issue. They took the 2011. They took the 2011 championship. The only MEAC championship we have. Well, at least I still got basketball, because at least the basketball team is gonna be good.
Because I don't. What got me was that they're not a bad team. It was like they're not a bad team. They're not. It's just that it's just little things.
Like the run defense. Yes. The run defense is horrible.
That was atrocious.
I don't. So I was listening to it from ESPN. ESPN brought up the fact, and this is during the second quarter when they had already allowed over 150 yards on the ground. Basically said that our run defense allowed last season on an average of 200 yards per game, rushing yards. They allowed 300
in this one game.
Bring it in closer. Bring it closer. Against a D2 school. No, I'm not Ice Cube.
Yeah, no, it's not good. It's not good.
300 yards against a D2 school, dog. And all last week, all I heard was how it's not fair that Virginia State's playing against Norfolk State. Norfolk State has 60-something scholarships. Virginia State only has 30-something scholarships. We only have half the full-time coach they have. Blah, 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 blah. We still lost.
Couldn't tell. I honestly couldn't tell. The other thing about it is that the other thing that got me, and I was talking with a guy about
we couldn't have win in giving in donating money.
I was talking with a guy about this. He was saying like you need to support HBCU schools. And it's like I do, but I'm also a sports guy. Like, because you're saying, why are y'all watching this big time national televised college football? I said, if Norfolk State was on TV, I would watch it. That would be a miserable watch because I'm a sports guy first. And I know that I don't want to see my local team get blown out, get beat every week. You know?
I would go to more games if I was going just for... So here's the thing. One, I only go to games where I know there's a band that I care about watching us go against. Which I don't think we have any of those games because we go to Hampton this week. Let's see. Let me go pull up the schedule again. I know I'm going to homecoming. But the way things are going right now, I might be in the game for the first half and I'm leaving going straight to the tailgate. Justice for no justice for back whoever Mr. Back is. Let's look at this Norfolk State schedule.
They have Hampton, then they have Temple, and Townsend, Carolina.
Is that the A&T game? Is that here or is it here or there? Okay, so I might go to the NCAT game. That's okay. That's September 30th.
See, that's going to be on TV. That's going to be on ESPN Plus.
I might actually go to the game because at least there's going to be two bands that is going to at least give me an interesting battle. I don't care about the football game because we're going to get destroyed. Tennessee State. If Tennessee State comes to us next year, I'll be there because again. Tennessee State has a band that I care about seeing the Legion go up against. Howard is in DC, so and honestly, I don't care about Howard's band, so I'm not going to Howard.
Okay.
Morgan State, don't care about Morgan State's band, so I'm not going. Matter of fact, never mind, that's homecoming. So I have no other choice, and maybe I'll stay just because.
Are you trying to march in that?
I'm not marching this year. I'll be marching next year. Central, do they have a band anymore? Delaware State, don't care. And then we close out the season against South Carolina State. The only way I'm going to that game is if South Carolina State has a game. If not has a game. If South Carolina State finally brings their band up, I'll go. If not, don't ask about going. I'll catch the clips online.
You want to go to that NCAT game?
I'm going to the NCAT game.
I'm saying you want to like carpool or whatever?
Yeah, we'll roll up to the NCAT game.
Because I'm curious. Because like I said, as long as I've known you, and then since I knew you March, I'm curious as to what band Ant looks like. Like I've never seen.
Depends on who I'm around. Depends on who I'm around. If I'm around the ones that like to go over to the other side and troll the band, then I'm trolling. What the heck is Dave from Two Choices?
You know what we should bring for that? If we can drag him from Roanoke.
Breon. We're gonna just like pull up on him and just like take him for a week.
Why?
I don't know who this guy is. He sounds like.
Are they just giving you looks like?
It's some trolling here. Just asking me, are you this or you that? All right. Now that I'm all worked up, let's go ahead and keep the ball rolling. Why don't we?
So, as a,
I want to start off with this first. So a few days ago, I was gonna make a short out of this and post it to TikTok and YouTube. But since we're here on the podcast, I want to go ahead and talk about it now, and I probably still will. So, at one point, I had this thing about crazy women.
Like AJ Lee crazy, or like
just like I thought it would be cool to date a crazy woman.
So you were like all of us in 2013, 2012 when
yes.
when all of us felt that when we saw AJ Lee. Right. Yeah.
And then I grew up.
Yeah.
I grew up, and thank God I did, because this is the type of crazy woman that some of y'all think is attractive. So let's go ahead and listen to what she has to say.
No.
It was really bad because I was like, I felt so bad about it. I called like child services on this one. I called child services on my ex because he pissed me off, and then I was like, yeah, I'm done with this person, whatever, like, cheater, fucking piece of shit, lies about dumb shit. He had kids. I called child services on his ass, and I like fabricated everything and like said certain things, and they like went to the door, and like there was a whole process. Like, I don't even know if the children's aid worker still visits them, but she probably does, because what I said, like the way I AI'd that shit, like real AI shit, like fake bruises type shit.
That's enough of that. Here's my problem. You really was like, I'm not hearing this.
Because I saw the clip. I saw the clip of it, and I was like, I read the caption, and I'm like, I don't want anything to do with this. Just like I don't want anything to do with that Bishop Sycamore documentary people keep posting on TikTok. I don't care.
Is it on Netflix?
No, it's on Max.
Oh.
Like, I don't care about that. I think it's stupid.
I might, if I had.
Although I will say the realest thing that I heard in it was Bomani Jones. Shout out to Bomani Jones. I can listen to him talk about anything. Bomani Jones said in there, it says, the fact that people are asking, like, how could he do this to his own people? I said, because this is that's the only type of people you could do this with. Black people are the only are a commodity among athletes. So when it comes to this, you can't be surprised by that. Also, what's really hilarious, and this is the last thing I will say about it, what's really hilarious, I feel like he now, from the clips I've seen, this guy's super, super delusional. He's absolutely like out of his mind. I don't know what.
You talking about the guy interviewing her, or
like the guy behind the whole thing, like Roy Johnson.
Oh, behind Bishop Sycamore.
He's absolutely like insane. Like, I don't know what's going on in his head, and I don't care. But the thing is, I feel like maybe this wouldn't have been. First of all, the whole thing is crazy. I feel like if they didn't get killed like they did, I don't think this would be a story.
Destroyed.
They got destroyed. Which is why I'm wondering, like, why are we even talking about him? They lost. They did this massive scheme, and
it's because people like drama, and it's a drama.
No, I like. That's a lie. I was about to lie in front of you, in front of God, in front of everybody. I hate drama. I do, because for what? What essentially he did this for his own ego. It's not like he just did this for his own ego, or because. Well, no, the way they made it sound like he just did it because he could. It shows how much.
Back to this POS.
Yeah.
So the fact that she's laughing about this already shows me that she doesn't care about how she has mentally ruined a man. And it's funny because when you look at how a lot of times we talk about how men can ruin a woman's life, But we never sit down and talk about how men's lives get ruined by false accusations when the woman already knows the accusation is false. Like, she went out her way to try to get this man's kids taken away from him and do all these things to ruin his life because he allegedly cheated on you. Now, I want to get to unacceptable things when it comes to rejection. But knowing that the ways that men handle these situations that are very, very wrong, women can't typically do that unless they go about it in a very drastic situation where we see where they have taken the life of a man. This is typically the way that when you are a horrible woman and you want to get back at a man, this is the way they typically do it. They lie on him and they basically try to make him out to be something that he's not, ruining his life. Like that one football player that was falsely accused of the R word.
Right.
Or even, what was it? It was a situation with the football player and he ended up taking the man's life because the girl tried to have his life taken away. And so he got off on self-defense. And this is what happens, and it's wrong. Because at that point, you are ruining a person's life. What this is, and nobody, look, because I'm gonna read these comments because I saw some that were, why is she snitching on herself? Because that's illegal.
It's highly illegal.
You are literally snitching on yourself that you falsely accused the man of something.
At this point, first of all, everybody shouldn't have a podcast. Okay, you can't be bringing everybody on your podcast. I don't know whose idea was to bring her on the podcast. I don't even know who she is.
Who is she?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even know who this person is. I don't know what.
She looks like an IG model just based off her appearance and how she's
and then I don't know what podcast that is. Jesus Christ.
It's back, baby. It's back. The telephone is back.
Anyway, I don't know what podcast it is, but if those are the type of people you're co-signing on your podcast, you shouldn't have it.
And this is me, and I kind of understand why they're used because it gets people talking about it like this. And they think it's okay. That's where my biggest issue comes in, because these are the people that the younger generation are looking up to. We talked about it ad nauseum when it comes to a lot of these rappers that come up, like the Young Boys and the Quando Rondos of the world, how they're polluting. Right. Blueface is a horrible person. And I would say that time and time over again, any woman that finds herself with Blueface at this point, from this point on, you're an idiot. Because there is no hiding the things that this man has done and how he's done Chrisean Rock. I'm happy that she's away from him. I hope she finds peace and she starts to grow and heal from everything that's happened with her Blueface. Blueface is horrible. Nobody's going to convince me otherwise. I want to stress that to everybody.
First of all, any man that says, and in order to be with me, you have to get a tattoo of me on your neck is
that should have been the red flag.
I don't care, like, see, but do you know why I hate money? I honestly hate money. I really do. Like,
and before you get to that, and I know where you're going with this, but I do need to say, because somebody put this in one of my stories. Somebody said that money's all evil. Can we need to go ahead? No, it's not. Money makes the world go round. The love of money. Read your Bible. Right, no. Read your Bible. The love of money is the root of all evil. It's not the fact that money is the root. The fact that you do all this stuff because you want more money, you love the money so much that you would do anything for it. People who would do anything for money, keep it out for them.
It's not worth it.
It's really not. And now, unfortunately, you have to go all your life with this monster on your neck.
Unless you get it removed. which costs more money.
It hurts. It costs more money and it hurts.
Hey, I mean,
even worse. So even then, even what's on it, you take the tattoo off your neck. Cool. You still got to deal with this man for the rest of your life because now you have his child. Granted, this monster doesn't want anything to do with that child. Oh well, it's yours.
It's worth it. Like, look, I maybe it's because I grew up the way I grew up. Maybe it's because we grew up the way we did. Maybe because I can't process. I've tried a lot to process the thinking that goes into people's human nature, which has kind of driven me insane a bit, but like, and it's kind of boosted my anxiety a bit. But it's like I can't understand how it's like the definition of insanity exists for a reason. Because there's no way.
Let's go ahead and define it so we can make sure.
For those who don't know, the definition of insanity is doing the exact same thing over and over again, expecting things to change. The thing about it is that there's no way that you can't be so enwrapped in the clout and wherever community that idiot, like geographic or wherever, where you're like, that's the guy I want to be. I don't care what your background is. There has to be there has to be some kind of logical thought there. The fact that there isn't is crazy because there's no way you're not on social media and you're seeing the things that people go through that women go through with this guy. Not just this guy, but just any man. Any of one of like NBA young boys' baby mamas, any one of whoever has the other baby mamas too. There's no way you're looking at these guys and being like, seeing how these 9 other women go through this. And you say, I want to be number 10.
I can change them.
That's what I think. That's what I constantly think, which is I need to stop thinking that when I go on dates, because I run into that. I run into women who like I pay for the date and I do all the other stuff. And then I don't necessarily want anything in return. I don't care. Like I have no self-preservation. Like I don't have that big of an ego where it's like, no, I did this. I am owed this. I bought you dinner. I am owed whatever happens after dinner. I don't do that. That's retarded.
That's
crazy. Like I don't care.
That's that red pill foolishness though.
And you can call me a sucker, you can call me whatever. It's like, yeah,
no,
but like, no,
because that's that red pill foolishness that has done nothing for dudes.
Because I don't care. Because like for me, it's like I don't care. It's like, bro, it's the fact
that have you met a person that has positively benefited from red pill communities?
Who?
Have you ever met a person that's positively benefited from the red pill community?
It can't, because most of them are getting arrested for sex trafficking.
The answer is no, because I haven't either.
But I'm saying
no.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm proving your point. Because like, that's the stuff. That's the stuff that red pill people would tell you.
Yes, most of those people who ascribe to that way of thinking, they don't last long. They in the moment seem like, oh, they got it. I want that. Like that's not it. That's not it. Like that's why I'm like, I can't understand. Like back to what I was talking about was also in this community, transition into furthering the community, because I know you want to get to that other girl.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, we were in Experience youth service, and we were talking about like I was trying to understand the conversation come about fighting in school. I've never understood that. Like, what are you doing? What are you really fighting for? Because I'm not fighting for something. I'm not fighting unless I'm fighting for something or defending myself.
Right.
But I'm not just gonna fight you based on because you call me a bitch. So what? I guess I'm just gonna be. I guess I'm just gonna be it because I'm gonna be alive because I'm alive. I'm just gonna be it because I'm gonna go home. You're gonna be wherever you are. I'm going home. I'm not laying on the side of the street. I'm not laying on the side of the street getting blown up social media. Saying, hey, Isaac got knocked out. Got in a fight and lost. He got knocked out. Like, why? Why am I gonna let that give you that power? Why am I gonna be a story for the school or for anywhere just because of my own ego? Why? I can't understand that. And so I was asking, and one girl told me, and at least she was honest. She said she doesn't want to miss out. She said fear of missing out. I said, so basically you're nosy.
Fear of missing out on what? Hold on. Fear of missing out on what though?
That's what I'm saying. What are you missing out on?
Are you talking about just being in the area where a fight is happening?
Most of them are saying, most of their things were saying that it's their friends. It's like, y'all need to pick better friends. Why would, if you're really friends, like, for example, like me and you, for example, I've seen you get into fights. I did.
I was young and dumb, first of all.
You said what?
I was young and dumb, first of all.
I know, but I'm saying,
not too much.
We were in middle school. But I've seen them. I remember what happened in the locker room with you and Torian. I remember that. I
remember the Chris Brock thing more so than that.
Yeah.
I don't remember the Torian thing, and I'm happy I don't remember because
do you want me to tell them or not?
No.
Okay, cool.
Because I see Torian's brother all the time, so no.
Okay, cool. So I remember that. I remember the thing with Chris. And it's like
I had another one in high school that you don't know about, but yeah.
All right, let's get into that. But anyway, the point is, I remember that. But the thing is, I remember how you were in middle school. You were very
brash,
solid. Yeah, you were very brash. You were solid. When I say solid, you were you're 10 toes down in your perspective, and you're going to stand on that. Like that time fucking Fat Jimmy called you the N-word in front of everybody. And you said it out loud. I was like, yeah, no, you're solid. You got it. You know what I mean? In a sense, I'm
more solid. And the crazy thing is, I'm more. And I think the thing of it is, I've used that, and now I know when I can pick my battles because I'm not getting no fight at this point. I'm 30 years. Gosh, that sounds weird. I'm almost 30. I turned 30 in a month or some change, bro.
What's great here? Side note: I had a kid yesterday. Somebody was saying how they felt old because they heard somebody was born in 2012. The kid who said he felt old was born in 2008.
2012, we graduated. Stop playing with me.
But it's I've never understood it. And when you did fight, I was like, what do you? I will always wonder because you're my friend. We were friends in middle school. My thing would always be, why are you fighting? And I know that's why I was. That's what it was. I know that's what it was. I know that's exactly what.
You know that saying about talking so much that you can't really talking so much cash you can't really talking up a big check you can't cash.
Yeah.
This is where my growth has come in now. I know when I can pick my battles and when to just kind of lay back and not everything needs to be said. I say so much in my head that I probably get in fights to this day. I just keep in my head. And a lot of times I use my nonverbal communication skills. So if you're around me and you see me making faces, I'm talking about somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what is I've always wondered, even in school, what was there to fight for really? Besides pride.
At this point now, with the growth I have, I still ask that same question. It was that could have been avoided.
No, I know.
And I really want to have I'm kind of upset he didn't pull up at Class of First because I did want to go ahead and bury all the hatches that we ever had.
You talking about at the reunion?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he was supposed to be there. I definitely want to go ahead and bury all the hatches. I'm pretty sure he's moved on, not moved on, but just to make sure.
Last time I saw
as grown men. Because I do believe that everybody else, all the hatch, like me and Deveron, we talked about it in the class anniversary. We almost got in a fight in middle school. Over nothing. We just bumped to each other. And we're about ready to throw hands. Over nothing.
He would have.
And I would have gotten all of the beats by Trey.
Yeah. Yeah. Chauncey has not
all the beats by Dre.
The only difference between Chauncey now and Chauncey then is that his hair has gotten longer, he has glasses, and he's gotten taller.
That man is still the same Chauncey.
Exactly. Like,
but
that's crazy.
Even then, we were just sitting there talking in class. He was like, "No, what were we on? We were really on some dumb stuff."
Because like I'm trying to understand that now. I can't understand that now. Like what is there to fight about?
I think that's the beautiful thing about growing up. You kind of look back at the things you did as a child. It's like, because I was doing it Saturday after praise rehearsal with my cousin, and we got beat because we didn't fight. We got into a little scuffle. We got into a little scuffle over the video game. And my granddad walked in on us. We were kind of like not really pushing each other. We're kind of like fighting over a remote. We got it good. So it was just one of those things that you do stupid stuff, you grow from it. I got into it with one dude in college in marching band, almost ready to throw hands in the block. That's my dog now. Every time I see him, it's all love. Sometimes you go through stupid stuff with people, and to grow from that and to see each other grow from it is something that kind of draws you closer to that person. So hopefully we start seeing that, and this is why I am where I'm at. But back to being mad here. So DV, domestic, I think I could say domestic violence, or even not even just DV, just the issue of some dudes not knowing how to deal with rejection.
Oh, I have a whole thing about this too. Carry on.
So I don't think I ever told you this. I lost a friend.
Who?
A good friend of mine that I marched with. She's a twin. She was basically taken away from us because she wanted to leave her guy.
She wanted what?
She wanted to leave her guy.
Oh.
So just like, I'm done, I'm out of here, type stuff. And so he couldn't handle it, so he took her and he took himself. That thing still bothers me to this day. Like, I had to have a mind to actually go hit my friend up because I don't know if she's seen the story, but I know if that were the case and she saw it, that would be something that she would basically go to. And things like this agitate me, especially when you know people that have been victims of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that a lot of the conversation going on is because of things she has said. She's like super duper feminist to the point of she like men are pointless, men don't provide, and this, that, and third. And I'm like, I don't care who it is. If I see somebody throwing a brick at a woman's face, I'm intervening. It could be somebody that hates my guts. You're not going to do that in front of me. That is a lethal weapon. This woman could have died. And there's men around watching it happen. I don't care that she said men don't protect. Men are protective. Yeah, you just showed it, you idiot. Let me see if I can find this clip that she said. And I want to analyze it to a point because there are things here that she said that honestly have some truth to it.
You talking about in the clip of her in the hospital? Oh, this clip.
No. This is a clip that resurfaced.
And the providers, we protect societies, we protect communities.
She's talking about women here.
Intellectual property, with our lived experiences, with our breast milk, with our bodies. We're the ones and the two. Bitch, not even the three. Because men are not providers and protectors, not innately, because they only protect what they possess. But we protect everything.
Now, I will say that is true. But at the same time, that's usually how it works. I'm not typically, if it's not an imminent danger situation, if you aren't my sister, my mother, or eventual wife and potential children, there are certain things that I'm going to give up of myself for them that I'm not giving up for a random woman down the street. However, when this woman is in the imminent danger of a man throwing a brick at her face, that is not the time to not be protective of her. I'm not bending over backwards for her, but this woman is in imminent danger, and you're not helping her. That's why I have a problem with it.
I looked at this and thought, Chris Rock said something that made so much sense when I think about it. And I thought about this. He said, we need to stop telling our kids that they're special. Because in the sense that because you're sending them out, you're telling them that you're special inside, and then you're sending them out into the world that really doesn't care about them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think what we have done is we've created a society where losing is not an option. You know? Right. Like, so we created a thing where we have to get the bag. You got to get the bag. If you don't get the bag, you don't have, then it means your life means nothing, essentially. We created that. That's what we've been told. That's what we are still being told. That you have to make it however way you can and get it as quick as you can. You have to get it as quick as you can, as fast as you can, and like as much as you can in order to be successful. When in reality, that's not the case for everybody. But we're telling that it is for we as a community are telling everybody, this is how you have to be. This is what you have to do. You know? And with that, we're not breeding people who are not breeding. With that, we're not sending people out into the world with that mindset of fight another day. You know?
Yeah.
We're creating this thing of like, oh, if I don't get it now, if I don't do it now, it's never going to happen again. You know? It's like I said, it's earlier, it's fear of missing out. And the thing is that we're missing is apparently, you know, losing because now here's the thing. Now that happened. I imagine the guys who did it, who are either they got away or they're in jail. I don't know.
I don't even know if this is this even in America, first of all.
Well, wherever it is, it sounded like it. It sounded like either America or it sounded like Canada. Because it didn't sound like
I'm pretty sure it was on this side of the globe.
Yeah, it didn't sound like something that was on the other side. That was on the Eastern Hemisphere.
But here's my other issue because
if it was in the, I don't mean to sound coarse with this, if it was in the Eastern Hemisphere and that happened, she'd probably be dead.
Honestly.
Like, I'm just being real. Like, that's...
But my issue here is when you look at some of the discourse that came with it, there is more talk about her past comments and how those comments basically mean she deserved it. They brought that up. A video that she posted of her, I guess it was a skit of her slapping a guy and then twerking by him, which looked like a skit. There's nothing that you can show me that she said or did that is going to justify her getting hit with a brick. There's no way there's nothing you're going to tell me. We can have the conversation that some of her takes are goofy. We can have the conversation that she sounds like a divester. We can have those conversations, but at the same time, this is a human woman. This is a woman that does not deserve to be hit with a brick because she didn't give you her number. Now, when it comes down to the situation of being protected, we've got to get out of this idea that all black men are supposed to take all black women. I just told you there are certain people that I am going to bend over backwards for in any situation. My sister, she knows that anything go down, I probably going to go crazy. Like, I don't play about her. My mama, don't mess with her. Those are two people I tell you right now, I would need some bail money over, okay? Though, when I get married, my wife, if I have children, my kids, those are people I would never play about. People on the outside of this circle, there are levels to it. Random girl down the block, I'm not going to just go out of my way to make sure she's okay. One, because I don't know you, and I ain't trying to get that put on me. Now, again, imminent danger, yes, I'm stepping in. Now, every man is not on that level. Some men are just going to sit back and watch. It's the issue. It's beyond just protecting black women being an issue. This is the issue that we're having in the community as a whole. My name's Bennett and I ain't in it. In situations where it could be a pitiful situation if somebody stepped in and be the cooler head. So many of the cases of violence in our communities could be handled with a cooler head involved. But I ain't seen nothing. I don't know nothing every single time. That's why when I go to church last Sunday, I'm sitting here looking across the street at two police cars because somebody got clapped right down the street from the church.
Somebody apparently got clapped somebody got unalived after the game.
Yeah, I did see that, and that's unfortunate. So what I would say is, what can you do to protect yourself in the event that nobody's there to protect you? I grew up on this idea that if you're around a woman, she better not be outside in the dark by herself. That was heavily pushed when I was in the Legion. It was to a point where they saw your rookie sister and not one of her brothers are walking with her, you are in trouble. They ain't playing about that. So there's certain things that has been put to my culture that I just do. Everybody ain't cut from that cloth.
No, and the thing,
and you can't expect everybody to.
Everyone's not cut from that cloth. And then also, it doesn't help that I know it's a list. I know we talked about this list before, and I know it's like parody because it's parody at this point because most of the stuff on the list are absolutely ridiculous. Are you familiar with the list I'm talking about? The list that said like things that make if you do these things, you're feminine or whatever. And it was like do yoga.
Yeah, that list is like 800 deep now.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, it doesn't help that things like that exist. It don't.
Yeah.
But I was always under the impression, like, so a couple months ago, I was at a Big Woody's, and I was watching a buddy of mine was playing in the band, and there was some women there who were drinking, having a good time, whatever, and they got approached by these guys, and I'm keeping out of the corner of my eye. I watched the guy approach them, you know, and I watched them, you know, interact with it or whatever. And then, so I'm just sitting there minding my business, but I'm keeping an eye, just in case for whatever. And one of the women ended up coming over to me and was like, "Hey, do you mind if we came over here and hang with you so we can? Do you mind if we pretended to know us so you can like go outside or whatever?" And I was like, without question, I was like, yeah, like, because the guy over here making us feel uncomfortable. I said, yeah. I was like, without question, I was like, all right, bet, like, yeah, come on, let's do it. Went outside, followed me outside, and we sat down and broke bread or whatever. But I'm like, that's just me, you know. That's how I do that. And one of the things I was struggling with about that was that I know everybody wouldn't do that, but somebody will be looking to get something out of it afterwards.
Right.
You know? I'm like, I'm not doing that. I think it's because here's the thing. No, on that note,
that these women are protected.
On that note,
it was enough.
On that exact same note, here's the thing. I think, honestly, it's because of that. It's because of the fact that there is no reciprocal. Because that's what you have to do something. It's like a give and take sort of thing. Now, you know what I mean?
They're still going. Lord have mercy.
You know what I mean? What, are you looking at the list?
No, it's a whole conversation that was started when I was getting my hair cut at like 10:30, and they're still talking.
What are they talking about?
So let's start from it. So a black man got to a fight on a dock in an open carry state, and niggas assemble like Avengers to help him. A woman gets hit in the face with a brick. The black man have assembled again like Avengers to say that they won't risk their life to help a stranger. We are truly unprotected. It's from a woman, and then the man says, two extremely different situations and factors. You decided to push a narrative right here. She then responds, a man was getting jumped by other men, and other men came to help him. One singular woman got hit in the face with a brick by one man, and no one came to help her. Guy comes in and responds, as I said before, them not helping that woman had nothing to do with her being a woman. The guys decided to help the man on the dock, and the guys decided not to help the woman. Simple as that. Stop trying to make this a man-woman thing. So you're saying men in general would not help another man that they saw getting beat up? Honestly, I think it was a race issue. The more I look at it, it was the idea. Was the guy getting beat up? This was the Bama situation. This was they're talking about the Bama situation.
Oh.
So, because we've seen it so many times in our communities where there's somebody that needs help, and we just like, oh, I don't see anything. It's beyond this gender war thing, and I hate that every single time this comes up, we have to have this gender war fight of, oh, black women aren't protected, no black men protect this, that, the third. And I'm like, stop expecting random black men to protect you in a situation. Because 9 times out of 10, it's not going to happen. In this society, you have to be ready. You have to be ready to protect yourself. That's the unfortunate truth about it. Whether it's arming yourself, which I'm 100% in support of, or whatever. It doesn't even have to be a tool. You can get mace. You can get all these other things to protect yourself if you're not confident in yourself to be walking around with a gun. I can say that now. I'm not on TikTok. So you have to be ready to protect yourself in that situation because, as you can see, some of these dudes out here don't care. It could have been a dude right there, and they still would have just sat there. Honestly, they probably would have had the whole fight on TikTok at this point. Like I told you earlier today,
I'm trying to think.
The black community is cooked.
It is. No, because like we can't. Oh.
And this ain't the white people's fault either.
No, it's not.
This is all on us, dog.
We can't create a. What did I was thinking about that quote I sent earlier? What's that bar I sent a couple weeks ago or like a month ago?
What was it pertaining to?
Huh?
What was it pertaining to?
It was like we all have the power to like. It was something deep too, and I can't remember it. I said it on the pod too. It was like we have the power to change something, but we're too scared or whatever.
Too stupid, more so.
What was it?
I think it's more of a stupidity situation. Every time I turn around, there's something stupid that's happening. And once I'm ready to call it out for being stupid, then I'm the bad guy. I'm a coon. I'm all these other things. I'm like, y'all sit back and let this stuff happen and don't say anything about it. And for some reason, I'm the bad guy for it.
I don't even remember what it was.
I don't want to talk about Glorilla. How she said that women should be toxic in their 20s. We see how Glorilla said that women should be toxic in their 20s. We see how that works out.
What? No. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Women being toxic in their 20s gets men arrested for falsely accusing of them of abusing their children.
No, because what's worse is that look. Do you know how we were gatekeeping music? We still are. By the way, we still on that, by the way.
If we're gatekeeping hip hop, can we just it's not a race thing at this point. It's a culture thing, dog.
It's not a race thing. It's never when I said we should gatekeep hip hop, it's never been a race thing.
I know, I know for you. I'm just letting it be known that when we talk about this, it is I don't want to associate myself with anything that is a net negative to the black community, like, or just human life in general.
Like, why was it like? For example, I'm still upset that nothing ever came of this, but the fact that people were okay, we created a culture where people said, "Oh, it's okay that Cardi B was able to drug men and get drug and rob men." Because she needed to struggle or make it whatever BS excuse she made up. The fact that we made that okay, that we as a culture said that's okay, and the fact that there are people
she's paid no debt to that.
None. But and then we're creating a culture to where then we've also created a culture to where Glorilla just said that. And people are going to be like, you know what? She's absolutely right. Your students, think about this. Your students are going to hear that, and they're going to think that's okay. And some of them, not all.
No, I'm making this short after this podcast is over.
Some of them, not all, can I be a part of it?
I cannot stand for this.
Some of them, not all, are going to hear that. And think when I get to be that age, I'm going to be toxic. Or if they're not starting to be toxic already. Which is crazy that you're being toxic in middle school because why? What are you really doing?
Hey, dog, I was in middle school being an idiot, so.
No, but you weren't toxic.
No, I was just stupid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You weren't toxic. You weren't doing like stuff that would get. You see what I'm saying?
Nah, I was just stupid. I don't know what I was on. Let me see what I was on.
Like we're creating a thing where
I'm going through my bookmarks right now, just looking at all the stupidity that I. Oh, that looks good.
Like we've created.
Goodness gracious, that made me so pasta now.
This culture, we did this to ourselves.
Oh yeah, this right here.
You see it? You find it?
No, I'm just looking at some of the stupid stuff.
Where is this bar?
Like these two right here. Like
no, what?
Casually stealing.
This is how we do it.
I'm not getting copy stricken for that. just casually shoplifting. And that's okay.
Well, things are expensive. Things are expensive nowadays. You just
cry me a river.
You're just broke.
Cry me a river.
You know how you know you're broke? Because I'm broke. But I don't do that.
Cry me a river.
Plus,
people are going out. Okay, so here's my thing when it comes to the shoplifting fiasco that we have going on in this country, okay? It would be like, I would still say it's wrong. But if somebody's going out shoplifting like small food items to keep themselves from going hungry, I'm like, there's a problem here that needs to be addressed. But when you're walking into, this is a pharmacy. It looks like the dude got a box of pads in his backpack. Yeah, pads. I'm watching this. I want to see what they're getting. Because there was unfortunately she's no longer here, and I don't want to touch into the whole thing about that. But a pregnant woman had allegedly shoplifted some alcohol. Why, I don't know. But when you are shoplifting Dior stores and all these other designer shops, I cannot defend that. We're broke out here. Didn't ask. Go make some more money.
Hold on. I honestly think the fashion industry.
No, because I'm thinking of, you remember going back to 2020.
I think the fashion industry.
When dudes were like, when they were looting all these designer shops, and it's like, what does that do?
I think, this is just me, I personally think that the fashion industry is like, some of it is just like a big scheme, because there's no way. You know, the more and more I think about fashion, the more and more I think about Thrift Shop by Macklemore.
Hey, don't bring that trash in here.
No, because think about it. Look at the stuff he was wearing that he said he got from a thrift shop. I don't know if he actually got it from a thrift shop, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about?
The most expensive things I have is a pair of Jordans.
Most
of my clothes.
The most expensive thing I have right now is I custom made some Air Force Ones.
Like I don't do like cheap shoes. So that's one thing I'm gonna have to buy. I bite on.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to my clothes, this shirt got from Amazon. The shorts I'm wearing right now I got from Burlington. These pants I'm wearing tomorrow, Amazon. Most of my stuff I get from Amazon or Burlington. I don't get the craze of wanting to wear Balenciaga and Gucci and all this other stuff. Honestly, if it ain't my shoes, this is where I spend the most of my money at.
What is that?
This is cologne. This is 1 million Elixir. This is the cologne I was using in Detroit. And that's actually the most expensive thing I have. This one here I spent about 80 on. Now this one here, I spent $25 on. No, actually, no, I'm lying. This is 40. You got this in Charlotte. This one right here, $18. $18 on some Calvin Klein. But everything else I get, I don't see the, like, you got people walking around like Givenchy. Givenchy's shirts are like, hold on, let me see, because I looked at Givenchy one time. You probably know what the heck Givenchy is.
No.
It's evidently it's a newer designer shop. Let's just look at their website real quick. Oh yeah, you about to throw a fit. You ready? Are you ready for this? These glasses are ugly, okay? Take a while to guess how much they cost.
200.
Higher. $600 for a pair of sunglasses. A plain black hoodie. $10.50. Who's spending all this money on this stuff, bro? This is ridiculous. I could get this shirt made for $20. I spend no $490. And this is what fashion is. I hate fashion now. You get the most basic stuff, you gotta spend an arm and a leg for it. But yeah, man, that's all I got though. I'm over the community as itself. There's no community, first of all. Let's go put that out here. There's no community. No black community, no LGBTQIA plus community, no community. Because the second you have an opinion that differs from it, you're basically excommunicated. And then every single time you turn around, there's a think piece for everything. I'm sorry.
But we can rest assured of one thing. Football is back.
Football and marching band season.
Yes. So, barring anything really stupid happening, yeah, we're back. It's back. The power's back, and God is good. God is still on the throne, as the old folk would say. Which, if you ask somebody younger than 15, we're the old folk. So,
yeah, shut up.
oh man. These are gonna be something. These are gonna be interesting.
Free coffee.
Anyway, I'm gonna go get some food and see if I could binge watch this One Piece show that came out on Netflix.
I'm going to determine whether I'm going to sit down and practice Wonderful Is Your Name by Hezekiah Walker, or make some money, or go prep cook.
Okay. All right.
So with that being said, we get out of here, y'all. Peace, love, pop stars. Always remember to drink your water. Be out of here.
Oh, and one more thing before we go. Feed into your system what you want to stay there.
I'm going to feed my system chicken. You opened up the floor for me to troll, though. I'm sorry. We out.